Hey guys, it's the Gemmy Fan here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and what you're looking at here is the Gemmy animated 2008 Ghastly Gentleman. Now the Ghastly Gentleman is, I'd say, kinda sorta uncommon, but not really. The Ghastly Gentleman was distributed at Big Lots in 2008, and this particular model was made April 15, 2008. Reason being that I know that is because after working on a circuit board, he actually has the specific date of April 15, 2008 located on the circuit board. Now you may be thinking, what was wrong with this thing since you had to work on the circuit board? Well, this originally belonged to two different collectors. Well, it still belongs to one of the two, but this originally belonged to CreativeCatDalek. I believe that's how you pronounce his YouTube name, CreativeCatDalek or something like that. This belonged to him, and he sold it to Donovan because it had a few issues with the head not moving at first, and then the body suddenly quit moving in his original video, because it would, this is the one with the vibrating head, and it just sways, in a circular position, and then it just, in the middle of its sequence, it just stopped completely. And at first, Donovan thought the motor had died, so he tried. I think him and Ethan tried working on it at one point, but it wasn't successful. So he basically set up in storage for about 2 to 3 years and set up as a static prop. I don't really know the back history behind this other than that. And there was about 3 to 4 wires pulled off on the board, and his head never worked. From either one of the collectors, I heard that the head had never worked in their possession. So I was like, alright, let me take on this challenge and see if I can get it fixed, and lo and behold, I did. Every single function works as it should. But by the time this was handed to me to get fixed, absolutely nothing worked. You just plugged it in and heard a little static sound from the speaker, and that was it. Because unfortunately a lot of the main functions were pulled off. The wire connections were pulled off. So I had to resolder all that, and in the process of resoldering those wires on the other original wires that pulled off, because the wires on this are very thin. It may look like a pretty well built animatronic, but the circuit board wise, it's really not, because the wires are not soldered on properly. And from the movement, what happens is that there's a cord. It looks almost as big as an extension cord, except it's white, and that goes for every single life size that was ever produced. So, and it kind of goes across it. So when the thing sways, it's pulling those wires back and forth, which is obviously not healthy for this thing, and there's been a lot of indications to where the same issues happen to all theirs. I know Peter C. Hanna actually had that same issue with his, but he fixed his as well. And here's Donovan's, or DD_Richart1's, fully working as well. So really happy to get this thing worked, and honestly, it's really cool. This thing produces a massive amount of bass and amperage and everything like that. It's built exactly the same as the Groom that went with the beheaded bride at the time, sold to Michaels in 2008 as well, I believe 2008, if I had to guess. But this one did not come with a top hat. These never came with a top hat in the first place. Obviously this was sold at Big Lots. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I guess I'll let this thing do the rest. So without further ado, we'll show it to you.
More guests. Please leave your body at the door and do come in. Welcome. Lovely evening for a fright, isn't it? I don't believe we've met. At least not on this side of the grave. More guests. Please leave your body at the door and do come in. Welcome. Lovely evening for a fright, isn't it?
As you can see, this thing works flawless now. I really have to say that it works flawlessly. I have no complaints on it whatsoever. And from the way I re-secured that board and resoldered all the wiring, and I also put a lot of excess super glue on there, or not super glue, but hot glue, to make sure that those wires would not pull off from the actual connections. And the more stress would be put on the outer wire rather than the inside the circuit board, which was the issue originally. So we'll get an up-close look of it. It stands about 5 feet exactly, same size as the Dancing Santa.
I don't believe we've met. At least not on this side of the grave.
And I think he's missing the top button there, but I could be wrong.
More guests. Please leave your body at the door and do come in. Welcome. Lovely evening for a fright, isn't it?
We'll go through the phrases one more time.
I don't believe we've met. At least not on this side of the grave. More guests. Please leave your body at the door and do come in.
And that's pretty much it for the 2008 originally sold at Big Lots Gemmy animated Ghastly Gentleman. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.